This is Matt Mill, Sewer Scoping Services. We're at 750 Union Avenue in Gladstone. We're going to be running the camera through the roof vent. We're going to run the camera out to the city's main line. Then we'll zero out the camera, shut off the water, pull back and inspect the line. At that time, as we pull back, if we find any issues, we'll stop and address them. out at the city's main line. I'm going to go ahead and zero out the camera here. Looks like when they tapped the old main, they kind of buggered up the main line. This is the city's portion of the line here. I'm going to go ahead and locate this just to determine and make sure we're out at the city's portion of the line. And located this point in the line, it's back off of Fairfield, about 5 feet off the road. This should be the tie-in, excuse me, with the city's main line out there. We're going to go ahead and pull back now and inspect the line as we pull back. have water running at the house. Watching for a consistent flow in the bottom of the pipe, which I can see. 6-inch concrete line. Making a turn down there towards Fairfield, coming back towards the house now. A little bit of an offset, that's very typical for an older concrete line. They didn't have bells or, 90s or 22s or 45s, so they'd insert the pipe and then tweak it down, which exposes the bell. You see that on the last two, they're pointing the pipe downwards, which exposes the bell on the top side. A little bit of wear in the bottom of the pipe, very minimal for a concrete line. Very typical to see a little bit of sewage in a vacant house. Somebody comes in and views the house and uses the restroom. It's not the flush that keeps the toilet sewer line clean. It's actually the running water from doing like dishes, laundry, especially on this long of a line. A little bit of pooling here, less than a quarter inch is not a concern. The marks on the pipe show that there's never been any issues or concerns with the pooling. Water flowing through just fine. Tie in here on the right hand side. Looks like to me that they possibly set up probably a easement or a lateral for the house next door, which has never been used. Probably ran the sewer out the front of the house. It just was probably installed at the time that the sewer line was put in. It's not being used, and I can tell that because there's no staining marks across from the pipe. Typically when you have a line tying in, you'll see the water flow out and hit the sidewall, which will show the water markings on the sidewall, and there's none of that occurring here. Still have good continuous water flow through the bottom of the pipe.
So it was this was the window well where the wood was pulled apart. See the difference in his camera?
A little bit of pooling again here at 135 feet back from the main line. Very minor. Again, that's with water running. If we were to shut that water off, we would hardly have any water in the line. transitioning over to the original cast iron. A little bit of corrosion in the cast iron. That's typical for the age of the cast iron sewer line. So at this time, all I saw was a couple areas of very minor settlement. Camera never even came close to going underwater, which would tell me that that's less than a quarter inch, and that's with water running. Getting a little bit of pooling here. This is probably in the crawl space. Could just be lifted up in the center there, in the crawl space, where it's hung. As far as the sewer line from the cast iron out, line's functioning just fine. So from the base of the stack, which is here, you're looking at 191 feet out to the street. Again, line's functioning fine. 2 areas of minor settlement, no recommendations.